Welcome back. Um, Today's video is going to be my high school crush had a big secret part one. This is by Bill Feasy. Now I'm already familiar with his content from watching him like from different other videos and stuff like that. He's an amazing storyteller. From what I've heard, pretty amazing guy. He did a lot of time in jail, well not jail, but prison, and he's gotten out and he's turning his platform into something that can like warn the youth about the horrors of jail slash prison, and it's just some place you really don't want to be at. So I really like what he does. If this is your first time seeing him, please go subscribe to that man. You will be thoroughly entertained, but you will also get a lesson out of it as well. But like I said, I'm already familiar with him just due to the simple fact that I watched other videos that have watched him, and that kind of put me on, and I've just been watching him ever since. So shout out to Bill Feasy, man. I really like what he does. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, like I said, the stories speak for themselves. Jail, prison, any place. It's just not where you want to be at. I seen, if you're new here from the last couple of videos that I did, also welcome. I'm new to the reaction space, but I plan on doing a lot more videos. I'm gonna probably have this channel as a little bit more crime centric, if that makes sense, because like, you know, YouTube niches and all that stuff. But it's just not gonna be like body cam videos. It's just gonna be like a whole litany of things just on the spectrum of like crime and whatnot. I wouldn't say I particularly enjoy just seeing people get locked up, but it is kind of funny sometimes to like see people do stupid stuff. And the weirdos. It's definitely funny to make fun of them for being weird and getting up out of here. Well, not getting up out of here, but you know, receiving justice for the things that they got going on. But that's my little introduction. I'm sorry if I started ranting, but yeah, we finna get straight in this video. I haven't seen this one yet, so let's see what my boy Bill got going on, man.
What up, though? It's your boy Billiam. Hey, listen, bro, I know y'all probably like, what the Feezy? Like, what is this boy talking about? I know y'all read the title. And yeah, bro, and that's not even the kicker. The kicker ain't gonna come until later on, because it gets even bigger than that. But yes, bro, let me tell y'all how I found out that my crush, the girl I really, really liked, that I just knew was gonna be my girlfriend one day, turned out to be a prostitute.
Yeah. yeah. It'd be like that sometimes, man. You'd be surprised how often this may happen, especially like growing up in of course I'm gonna let Bill explain what he got going on, but like growing up in kind of like impoverished neighborhoods and whatnot, a lot of weird, sick, foul stuff goes on that you may be privy to at a young age, or you may not. You might look back at it like not a couple of years, but like, I don't know, 5-10 years on the line where you was like 12, 14, now you're like 23, 30, and it's like, damn. Shawty Cuz was getting, pipped out, but hey.
All right, so let's just take it to the beginning real quick.
All right.
The girl was a highly attractive young individual. Throughout school, like in high school, it was so many people used to be on her, like all in her face, and it looked like she used to, you know what I'm saying, like kind of curve people, like she wasn't really studying folks, like, man, y'all boy don't go head on, you know what I'm saying? And then she used to, I done heard her say on a few occasions, like, well, you too young for me, but you know, we all 15, 16 for real, you know what I mean?
Was another strange thing. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much. That is very real. That a lot of females, like especially going around high school age, at least in like my school and whatnot. But I think it's like damn near like others, like all schools at some point, that you'll have a 15, 16-year-old young lady, excuse me, dating a 25 to 35-year-old man, and you just hit puberty. Like I said, it gets strange real fast.
So, bruh, it was a situation where I had really caught chicken feet. I mean, not no damn chicken feet. I really caught cold feet and was down there scared to talk to her. I'm talking about, I don't know. I remember one day we was in class, she was sitting next to me. And I was sitting there doing my work or whatever, then I look up at her, and then she looked up at me, and then I looked back down and went back to doing my work. And then I looked at her again, she looked back up and was like, and I went back down doing my work. So then I did like this. Now this is some creepy ass shit. I looked at her without turning my head. I did like this, trying to glance at her. And when I looked up, she was looking straight at me. Was like, and I was like, damn, let me stop looking at her. She lived in my neighborhood, so that's what made it even worse. Cause that bus ride, nigga, I got my head straight the whole time. I feel like on my peripheral, she looked at me to see if I was looking at her. And we used to have to pass her house to get to my house anyway, you know what I'm saying? So I had a real big crush on the girl, but I don't know why the hell I was just so nervous. I think she might have been a little too fine for me back then. You know, back then, before you really learn about the world and the dating life, you prioritize people, you judge people based off of different things. Like, it might be something like the way she looked, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, she too fine, she too pretty, I can't even talk to her. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was always scared to talk to her. I know this for.
That is so real, especially growing up as a young man. I'm pretty sure if you ask any guys from several occasions where they've done talk themselves out of trying to get something good, and if you understand what I mean by that, it's just by like imagining inside of their head that nah, she ain't gonna want me, man. I got too much going on. I ain't handsome enough. My skin don't look good enough. I almost talked myself out of getting with my wife, my now current wife. She was my girlfriend, my wife, but she was like new to the school and whatnot, new to class, and I was sitting across from her. It was first time seeing this woman, and I'm just like, man, what does she think I'm weird? Like, what does she look at me? She see my glasses and whatnot, because I do wear glasses. I don't have any right now, but what does she like see my glasses and think I'm just like some school nerding? And I'm just like, man. But I eventually ended up talking to her, and it clearly worked out.
A fact. So one day, me and these two young ladies was on some form of foolishness, and I was in the female's bathroom. Yeah. Don't quite recall what was going on. I believe we was just in there chit-chatting, having a safe, friendly conversation.
Right.
I come out the bathroom, followed by the two young ladies. This weird-ass science teacher was walking past. He gonna look at me and say, Chris, you're coming out of the female's restroom? And what are you girls doing? I looked back, I said, oh, hell no, this is a female bathroom. I said, man, I thought this was the man's bathroom. I didn't even pay no attention. He said, no, come with me, all of you. You're coming to the office. I took off running.
See, Bill, that's why you gotta go to the other bathroom, man. Especially if your school got multiple layers to it, you gotta go to the bathroom that don't nobody be in for real. That's the trick right there. It's either you go to the bathroom that nobody be in, or you. What are you talking about? Okay, you go to the bathroom that nobody be in, or you go in the hallway that nobody be on, that people don't frequent that much. It's usually like, because I know for my school it was like we had 3 layers. So we had the bottom layer, we had the second layer, we had the top layer. There were certain rooms and then certain bathrooms, if you get what I mean, that not too many people frequented, because certain type of classrooms were down there. Not regular classrooms, but like, what is the word for it? I want to say remedial classes, I think that's it. And they're usually like in the class all day. So at least particularly in my school, you just headed down towards the hallway, or like down towards the hallway near the bus lane. You'll be perfectly fine.
But of course, they knew me. He told them who it was. Make a long story short, I got suspended from high school for 10 days.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It was pure misery, except for the times when my mama left and I could jump up and dip because she was on my ass all day. You ain't not doing it. Hey, boy, you ain't just finna sit around here. You need to get your ass up and go clean up this. And you need to da-da-da-da-da-da. So I try to leave at any given time, and I tell her, like, I'm about to go to the store or whatever the case, but I stay gone for a long, extended period of a time. So this particular day, my mama was gone. She had to go do something. I'm sitting in the house. Man, I don't know what the hell took over me. Man, I was thinking about a pack of glazed donuts, a pack of powdered donuts. Excuse me. I was thinking about some hot Cheetos, some spicy nacho Doritos. I just was craving the snacks. I had some money. Y'all know I used to do little hustles and stuff to make money. I get up. I'm walking to the store. I come around the curve. I go up. I pass old girl house. And there's a cut that we used to take. It's a cut through this park. Like, okay, when you coming up, it's like a cul-de-sac, but it's a cut. And if you walk through the cut, it takes you through this park. And they got like tennis courts. They got 1, 2, 3. They got 4 big old tennis courts. It's a big ass park, big old parking lot. And then you just walk straight through it till you get to the front of the tennis court and the gas station sits right there. So that's what I'm going to do. Once I pass Old Girl Street, what we gonna call her? I got a pack of icebreakers right here. So I'm gonna call her Icebreaker. She was an icebreaker. So once I pass Icebreaker house and I get up here to the end of this street and I'm turning left to go walking into the cul-de-sac, nigga, I got nervous. I saw Icebreaker walking towards that way, but she had to just turn not too long ago because she wasn't too far away from me. And I did not see her when I was coming up this way, so the only answer for that, she had to have went probably the back way, like out the back door of her house, which means she probably was trying to be slick, wasn't supposed to be out the house. I'm like, why the hell Icebreaker ain't in school? But then I'm like, this is my moment. I'm suspended. She's not in school right now when she's supposed to be. I think she being slick, sneaking out anyway. Probably capped her pants down like she ain't had school today. I don't know. But this is my moment.
There's been plenty of times like those, man, where you probably out in the neighborhood and you see like a female that you want to rock with, you want to get with, you want to step down on that, as we like to call it back when I was growing up, and you finally see them out in the wild, out in the open, nothing but space and opportunity. And just like we was talking about earlier, it's either you're going to do something about it or you're going to cap yourself down in your mind. Just like, man, no, I ain't going to do it. And just like that, love of your life could have walked away from you. Either love your life or the worst thing that ever happened to you. But you'll never know because you never went up to it.
Talk to her, because if this wasn't my moment, why is it lined up like this? So I kind of speed walk a little bit. Now, when I got a little closer, I slowed down to a normal walk so it don't seem like a creep. Now, once you get through the cul-de-sac, it turns into like grass, rocks, and a bunch of leaves. So immediately she's gonna hear leaves crunching and stuff. So that's what happened. She turned around, she looked back at me. She ain't say nothing. She turned her head back. I ain't say nothing. I walking up, seeing like she started slowing down, walking slow on purpose. And then I got up close. I was like, what's up? How you doing? She was like, hey. I was like, why the hell you ain't in school? She looked up at me. She was grinning. She was like, man, long story. Why you ain't in school? And I told her what happened, but she was like, oh, y'all was in there being nasty. I said, no, we wasn't. We was just in there cooling. We just talking. I don't even know why I was in there. Woo.
Cap.
And then she told me she suspended too. I said, for how long? She said 10 days too. I said, what the fees? We both suspended for 10 days. This definitely is a sign from the Most High telling us we ain't getting no younger.
Yep. That getting sad. We ain't getting mad. Come on, bro. But nah, that's, like I said, that's real though. When you suspended for 10 days, she's suspended for 10 days, it ain't nothing but space and opportunity, man. It's just unfortunate how I think this story is about to play out though. And then I'm trying to see what the hell she got suspended for. Maybe Bill let us know.
Let's get married. So we go to chop it up. So she telling me she's about to go to the store and get some snacks. So I'm like, shit, what type of snacks you be in? Because that's what I was just getting ready to do. I was about to go to the store to get some snacks. She was like, for real? I was like, shit, we might as well walk together. So we walking, talking, bro. She seemed cool as hell. I'm talking about, she just talking stuff I ain't even asking her. She talking, we chopping up all kind of stuff. We get the snacks, we come back, we stop at her house. We got to stop at her house before I can make it to my house. So we sit on the porch for a minute. She cracked the door open. So I'm like, why the hell you crack the door? She like, just in case the phone ring, I need to be able to always hear the phone and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. So she was telling me that her mom and daddy be gone every day up until like, they get off at 3, but they don't make it home about 4:30 every single day. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So she like, shit, we could come in the house if you want, but if my mom or daddy pull up, your ass better be ready to break your neck running out that back door.
See, just like that, you gotta ask yourself. Even that, of course, you're not thinking about this as a young man. You hear something like this, and it's like, oh, shit, we can go in the house. What we gonna do in the house then? But as an adult, thinking about it, it's like, why Shawty invite me in the house? Like, you don't even know me. I can be absolute freak, weirdo, and you just invite me into your spot when you just told me that you're home alone. So if somebody is on that type of timing, ain't nobody coming to help you. But like I said, due to the nature of this story and what the little information that Bill has given us, this just might be something that's regular to her. Because in regular terminologies, we would call this, I guess you could say a HOE. You know? Yeah, y'all know.
Because they find out I got company, they're going to act a fool. I'm like, she cool. We go in the house. We go up the stairs. She like, come to my room. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah. Shit.
Oh, my God. I'm like, she talking about come upstairs, come to the room. So we get up there. Keep in mind, I'm young, bro. You know what I mean? But, hey. So we go to the room. You know, it's straight little room. Look like a normal teenage girl room or whatever. She like, you can sit down on the bed. She sat down like, as soon as you walk in the room, the bed in the middle. She got a dresser right here. She had a little small dresser right here on this side of the bed with a lamp on it. So I come sit right next to her on the bed, and she like, yeah, I just be chilling. And she reached over to the dresser and grabbed the house phone. You know, I know them house phones about that long, you know. And I looked over at the dresser when she was reaching, and there was something on a tablet. It was probably a tablet about that long, about that thick, and it had a lot of writing on it. And when she saw me looking at it after she grabbed the house phone, she hurried up and grabbed it and flipped it over. She was like, you know that's rude. Don't never try to read a girl diary. Girls put their most sensitive stuff in their diaries. Don't never read a girl diary. That's like a real invasion of privacy. I said, no.
You invited me into your room. This is already an invasion. But this is an invasion of my privacy. I didn't ask to be here, ma'am. You invited me in, so I've taken the opportunity to come inside of your space. We're sharing space right now. What invasion of privacy do you have when you got a tablet and the house phone in the same dresser right next to each other? You don't even got to close, apparently. How I know these ain't just the numbers of people that you can call once you get me all good and vulnerable to come over here and rob me. I need to know this information. And then it's just a human thing. It's like you see writing on the paper. I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna automatically be like, what that is? There's a couple names up on that. What that page say? Yeah, let me get away from that.
No. That wasn't what I was trying to do. I was just looking to see shit. I'm just looking at the room. I just came in the room. I'm just looking. I'm not trying to sit back and read your diary. Exactly. I know girls put their secrets in there. So she like, yeah, you know, that's something personal. So I'm like, okay. So we just talking, and she telling me she don't really mess with dudes for real.
On a side note, I wish you could go back to diaries because you got way too many people online, like, telling their deepest, darkest secrets to strangers on the internet, and we really don't need to know it. But, hey.
Because everybody be on BS. Everybody just be wanting a girl for their body. and she don't really be on that. She want a person to love her. So while she's sitting here talking, I can't believe it because I've been liking you so much, baby. That's what I want to do. Shit, the phone ring. She said, hello? Looked at me, did like this, jumped up, shot out the room. The door's still open. As soon as you leave out her room, immediately to the right is a bathroom. She got up, she went out the room, and when she was reaching for the door of the bathroom, I heard her say, you gotta at least have 50. And then she opened the door and went in there and closed the door. So I'm like,
50 what? 50. What we got going on with that? Because in my mind, like even as a younger man, in my mind, I'm gonna be like, what you mean 50? You about to give him 50 to come and do something to me? She about to give 50 to go do something else? Is that her pops on the phone saying, I don't know, it's about to take $50 to order some pizza, man? What we need you 50 for? Where's 50 coming from? Is 50 a person? Like, I gotta get up out of there.
we gotta at least have 50. What the hell is she talking about?
50.
So I hear her talking, I can hear her voice, I can't make out the words. So probably about 20 seconds later, she came back out. She was like, hey, Chris, just take the house phone number, call. She said, matter of fact, call the number right now real quick. She didn't have a cell phone. So I called the house phone number wrong. She said, okay, I got your number. I know how to call you back. She said, my cousin finna come over here and drop off this money to me real quick, but you gotta dip because if he see a boy in here, he gonna do the most, probably gonna call my mama, telling on me and all that type of stuff, so you gotta dip. I was like, well, why the hell you don't just go grab the money from your cousin? I just stay up here. She was like, nah, because it can just go left too many different ways. So I was like, okay, bet, shit, that's cool, that's fair. I leave, I go back to the house, I'm happy as hell. I'm like, well, I done finally caught Icebreaker, bro. Man, I've been liking Icebreaker for the longest. When I get to the house and get in the room and go to chilling, I realize a sad reality. I left my damn snacks at her house. My damn snacks. So from the time I walked out her house to the time I came to realization that I left my stuff in there, I said a good 12 minutes had passed by the time I went home, sat down. And I said, hold on now, where the hell my snacks at? So I go to searching. I said, oh, hell no. I left them at Icebreaker house. So I leave back out the house. I'm kind of sprinting up the street. And then I say, damn, I got her number, the house phone number. So I call the house phone like 3 times while I'm walking up the street. I just know she finna answer.
I remember having to use a house phone, man. And you ain't got no privacy. None whatsoever. Because you either wasn't telling what type of house phone. My grandma had several house phones. And I remember like trying to call this girl when I was like back in middle school because she gave me her number. And it was kind of funny. It was kind of embarrassing because they brought the house phone in the room and it was like, you know, such and such. She looking for you. And we didn't stay on the phone that long because I think she was like I think the school was having like a dance or something that day. But I was so happy when I finally got a phone, man. I'm just like, yes, I can talk to people regularly without having to go through 3 to 4 to 5 different folks to hand me the phone, man.
No answer. It's just ringing. So I'm like, damn, you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to just go to the store, buy some more snacks. So by the time Icebreaker hit me back and be like, yeah, come get your snacks, I'm doubled up. I got more snacks now. You know what I'm saying? So I go walking. I'm looking at the house the whole time, trying to see if I see a light going on, just anything. Nothing. I walk all the way to the cut, bust the corner. As soon as I was getting ready to walk, like take my first couple steps into the cut, I feel like, and I walk to the cut, I walk down in there, walk up to the cut, and right when I was coming all the way through the cut, because it's a building, I think it's like a bathroom, and that's just, you know, people at a game, they go use the bathroom. Right when I'm walking up, getting ready to turn that thing, I see, it looked like a Camaro, like an all blue Camaro. The passenger door open. Icebreaker stepping out the Camaro. And the Camaro, they say something to each other, the Camaro pull off, Icebreaker come back walking this way. The thing I noticed the most, the outfit that Icebreaker had just had on when I was at her house, it was a total different outfit now. And this outfit here was a lot more interesting. When I was at Icebreaker house, she had on some jeans. This outfit, Icebreaker had on something. Damn spaghetti strap, back was out. This was kind of exposed. That ass was assing. Every time Icebreaker walked, it was like 2 water balloons.
Man, Bill been a little freaked out, man. But I understand it, though. It was probably a much different time. Bill was coming up, like, sheesh.
And they was short, damn near all the way up to her thighs for real. And I'm
I
like,
see something like this, my mind is racing. I'm like, you said you was just looking for somebody that, you know, wasn't gonna play games and whatnot. And then you hop out the car wearing some fishnets, looking like Patrick from that one SpongeBob movie where they had to go to I think it was Shell City or something like that. And my mind is racing. I'm like, what you got going on? You just said your cousin was coming up over here. And you hopping about a blue Camaro, looking like something.
what the hell? So when she realized I'm walking here, we started talking. She like, what the hell you doing coming through here again? And I say, shit, I was about to go to the store. I was calling your ass. I realized I left all my snacks over there. She was like, damn, sure did, then. I was like, yeah. She was like, come on, let's go get them. So I turn around. I'm like, okay, I could save me a couple dollars. It's all right. So I go back with Icebreaker. We're walking back to her house. It get quiet for a few seconds. It kind of was a uncomfortable silence for about a good 30 seconds of walking. And then we get back to the crib, and we go up the steps, and she was telling me, like, yeah, my family, my mom and my daddy damn near fell out with the whole family. Like, they don't rock with them at all. They won't talk to them. My mom and daddy said they don't want them at their house for no reason. If they want to come kick it with me, talk to me about family stuff or whatever, that they need to pull off. We need to pull off and go somewhere. So that was my cousin. He had just pulled up. I had just hollered at him real quick about some stuff in the family.
So you in your cousin's car with suspenders and fishnets on, chest all out, back all out. Right.
I mean, my auntie beefing with my other cousin. They act like they want to fight each other, just all kind of crazy stuff. So I said, damn, for real? She was like, yeah. And then, bro, I was looking at her like, you ain't but 16. And you got all this sense like you damn solving family issues. I'm like, okay. Shit, this starting to make me like her ass even more. So we get upstairs, we chilling. And she looked at me, she was like, you ever been alone with a girl before? When I said, nigga got nervous. So I said, you say what? So she was like, you heard me, Chris. Have you ever been alone with a girl before? I said, hell yeah. She said, you know what I mean though, right? I said, yeah. She said, I mean like the hot dog go in the pot of water.
Man, you can tell this is a different time. Because what the hell, Bill, you talking about the hot dog go into the pot or the bun and the water turn on and you got to adjust the eye a little bit because the stove broke. Oh my God. He's some old shit.
Water is wet. Have you ever been alone with a girl like that before? I'm like, hey man, listen, man, goddamn, right when I get ready to start damn line. Right when I get ready to start damn line, the phone rings again. Hello? She getting up while she's saying hello. She was like, she started laughing. She said, hold on. She walked off again. Right before she went in that bathroom, she said, I'm gonna at least need 100 for that because you're doing too much now. I'm like, 100 for that because you do.
So we just went from 50. We getting to 100. Why are we going up in prices? And you was just in here talking to me about you ever put the hot dog in the boiling water and flip the cheese over on this side and spread a little mayonnaise on the bun real quick. And now we talking about 100s and 50s. What you got going on, man? Are these people? Is that your cousin? Do you got one cousin named 50 and another named 100? All right.
Doing too much. She go in the bathroom. I'm really, I'm reacting like that now. I was a little perplexed, but I really wasn't thinking nothing to it. So she went in the bathroom, and she just in there talking. I snatched the damn thing off the table real quick, that diary, and looked at it, just being nosy, which I shouldn't have did.
Yeah, 100%.
At the very top of the page, it had the day's date. So it would say March 10th, 2026. That's what it said. It was like 4 lines filled in. And it said, it didn't say the date next to it. It said BJ 50. The next line, BJ 50. The next line, BBJ CIM 100. The next line, BBJ 75. And
I see something like that, man. I see something like that. Then you try to connect all the dots. She just got a blue Camaro wearing fishnets, basically just dressed like Lady in the Tramp. She's saying she meeting up with her cousin. So she's saying that she got in the car with her cousin. I'm just gonna assume the cousin name is 50. And then she on the phone talking about 100. Maybe it's another cousin called 100. But I'm putting 2 and 2 together, and I'm just like, BJ 75, 50. Because it's like, even if the most, how do I want to put it? Even the most like uncultured person, or just like somebody that's not in the loop about what some of those terminologies means, is going to ring a bell. Like, imagine you playing Grand Theft Auto, and you go to the club up in there, and you get the one you like, and you take it down to the back alleyway. You park the car, and the cutscene activates, and usually they use that same type of terminology. So, like I said, even if you're not too tapped in about what some of this stuff means, you're going to be looking a little odd. She just got on the phone early time, so I'm gonna need 50 for that. She just on the phone right now saying I'm gonna need at least 100. You find a notebook with all types of conspicuous meanings inside of it, and you starting to like think inside of your mind. It's like, why are we going 50 to 75 to 100? Are these people that owe you money for something? Are these people that you doing something for to get money from? You got to use your context clues, and the context clues all lead back to her doing some nefarious activities with grown men for income.
when I heard the door move, I hurry up, put it back down. And I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga BJ? And why the fuck she keep writing this nigga name down so many times? Exactly. And who the fuck is this nigga Sim? C-I-M, Kim, however you want to pronounce it. And why she got these numbers next to these niggas' names? So man, I done went on my phone, I done went to her Facebook page, done found it. I'm thinking of all the niggas we go to school with named BJ. I done identified about 3 of them. And one of them I caught her talking to in the chow hall before. I said, oh, she fucked up by this nigga named BJ because she keep writing this nigga name down. And I don't know why she put C-I-M next to his damn name like this with numbers and stuff. So she came back out, she said,
innocent Bill, man. Innocent.
I'm sorry, Goo. I'm sorry to, keep saying like we just trying to vibe and it's getting interrupted. She said, but that's my uncle. My uncle about to come pull up and holler at me real quick. It's just so much going on in the family. I said, damn, baby, so you really like the family therapist or something. So she like, hell yeah, it's just, my whole family, they just, and I'm the youngest. That's what's crazy. Like, I'm the youngest. These people are grown. These people is like in their 30s. And my uncle right here who finna pull up, he's damn near 40. And he literally calls on a 16-year-old girl for advice, and when we having problems with the family and all this type of stuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to talk to my uncle real quick, and then I'll be right back, and I'm gonna call you. I said, okay, baby, that's fine, that's cool.
I feel like there's a double meaning to that entire interaction. She was like, he about 40. He calling on a 16-year-old to come and fix his problem. I feel like there's a whole double entendre to that. And like I said, being young and probably not knowing some of these terminologies, probably not like putting 2 and 2 together, you would never catch on to something like that. But like looking at this from like an adult perspective, like of course a third person perspective, but like being a grown man is like, it's like you're saying one thing but you mean something completely different. Because in context of the story, 40-year-old man calling a 16-year-old girl for favors of the erotic kind. It's truly sickening stuff because it's like, how do you go about your life and then you just chilling, you just sitting in the back of your car? It's like, man, and you just thinking about a young lady that hasn't even reached the age of adulthood yet, hasn't even turned 20 yet, and you like 30 something, 40 something, and you just like you gotta get at that. Like I said, man, there's some weird stuff that be going on in this world. Weird
I ain't got no problem with that. So, I ain't gonna lie, I keep thinking about this BJ shit. And it's the one nigga that I know named BJ, you know, he's one of the rare people in school that got a car. So when you're a nigga in our age group and you got a car in high school, bro,
different.
They own you like white on rice. So I'm like, she in love with this nigga, but why is she writing this nigga name down on the thing so many times with today's date on it? That shit made no sense to me in my 16-year-old mind brain. But it was something that was a little strange. And I know family could have issues, and it's like, I don't want nobody at my house. But it was just something that triggered in my mind that said, just do a slight investigation. Just see something. So I leave out, and I came all the way back down around the end to turn the corner where I live. But instead of keep walking, there was this big ass tree in these African people's front yard. I ran up to the tree, and I'm like this. I'm just peeking over, just trying to see real quick. And I'd say about 2 minutes went by. Icebreaker came outside. Oh no, my bad. A truck pulled up. Icebreaker came outside. The same aesthetic as far as the clothes, but a different outfit. Ass still jiggling, breast still kind of exposed. Looked like she done did a little whiff to her hair or something. I don't know. She got in the car. He turned around, pulled out the neighborhood. When I saw them bust that right, getting ready to go out the neighborhood, I took off running, flying to the park. I just wanted to see, like, is you and your folks just coming to this park all the time, just sitting here talking, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I guess it was just a little strange to me. I didn't really know what it was, but I knew something was strange. Took off running down the street. I'm like, I get up to the cut, take off running again. Now my big ass out of breath. I tiptoe up to the building because these damn leaves, I don't want to make no noise. And I kind of squat down. I lowly peek around. I see that same truck pulling in. He pulled in. He found a good spot. He backed up. Now I got to be OD careful because they're facing me. When he parked, they talked for a few seconds. And I seen what I seen. I don't know if I really seen it or if my eyes were playing tricks on me. But you got to watch part 2 to see what happened next.